7:23, 57 degrees. We spend most of our waking hours at work, right? So it's only natural that we develop close relationships with our coworkers. But there's a new phenomena that's taking place. It's called work spouses. And you know what I'm talking about, that colleague that's opposite. Yeah, your sex or your cubicle, opposite sex, and you're really close to them. So how do you manage that work spouse relationship without crossing the line? Well, here with the details is the author of the U Plan, Dr. Michael Woodward, a.k.a. Dr. Woody. Welcome back. So you got to define what a work spouse relationship is for people who might not know how common it actually is.
Sure, Suki. It's really defined as a close platonic relationship that you have with someone obviously at work.
Yeah.
That's really defined by a strong sense of loyalty, closeness, and openness. It's that person who basically acts as your spouse at work. And interestingly enough, a recent survey by the Captivate Network found that 65% of those they polled actually have a work spouse.
Yeah.
And most of those people actually share intimate details with each other.
59% of those of that 65 actually share those intimate details. So I got to say that there has to be, before we get to the cons, there has to be some benefits of having a work spouse, right?
Of course. I think, first of all, the greatest benefit is that there is a closeness and having that sounding board, because we all need support
Somebody you
at work.
Trust,
Someone you could talk to, because we all need that close, critical, direct feedback. Someone who could be honest with us and tell us when we're doing something wrong or just funny or whatever. Yeah.
Or crossing the line, or you haven't approached that correctly at work.
Right.
It creates a really nice dynamic, and a team dynamic.
A team dynamic is important because it's just like that quarterback wide receiver duo, people who are on the same page, who are intellectually connected. Kind of just think of that morning anchor duo. Sort of like that, right?
You know it.
Being able to finish each other's sentences.
Yes, it is always good to have that, but sometimes there's a risk involved. So tell us, what are the risks of having a work spouse?
Well, first of all, it's politics, right? So think of whenever there's a close alliance with someone, sometimes you can kind of feel that you're alienating others by having this air of exclusivity.
Yeah, I guess.
You have to be careful about that.
Yeah, and can that be problematic, you think?
That can be problematic because others feel left out. Yeah. And then the second one is...
Oh, don't hate because you have a good relationship. And the other one is what?
Right. It could be crossing the line. You have to be careful if you actually cross that line.
You mean like sex or something like that?
And now, the vast majority of those surveyed said that they don't cross the line sexually with that work spouse. But here's the thing. Sometimes when you get emotionally very close to someone, you get very invested and it can snowball. And you have to be very careful of that because you don't want to alienate your actual spouse or significant other.
All right, Dr. Woody, some interesting stuff. Thank you so much for coming in. It's a really interesting read. And I know a lot of you out there probably have work spouses. So make sure you talk about the pros and cons and manage it in your head. And remember not to cross the line, even at that holiday party after a couple of drinky poos. All right, for more on work spouses, log on to pix11.com/morningnewsgirl. You know we've all been there, right? 7:26.